So welcome, everyone, and I'm happy to be on the call today. My name is Luann Pecorelli, and it is October 7th, Saturday, 2017. And today we will be talking about sharing. And before we get into sharing and the training, who would like to share? Anything happened this week that you have shared, relive, and you're excited about it? And come on and share with us. You'll have to star 6 to unmute your phone. Everyone's quiet today. No sharing? We have a quiet group. Well, okay, I'll give it just a minute more here, and star 6 to unmute your phone. Well, maybe as we talk about sharing, you'll think about some of the things that you've been doing with sharing, and feel free to make comments, and maybe we can get this going. So let me just share a little bit. My name is Luann Pecorelli, and I live in Orem, Utah. And I'm really happy to be sharing about SHARE today and the business Relive business system. I started sharing Relive because I avoided surgery with degenerative disc disease. I had more energy. I had lost weight. I had a stronger immune system. I avoided bronchitis every spring and fall. And I handled our traditional automotive business with less stress and felt in control of my life for the first time in years. And it wasn't because my life changed, but because my body was getting what it needed to handle my life better. And I felt good. And I still do 11 years later, and I'm 11 years older. And Relive has blessed my life, not only physically, but financially. And as I continue daily to share, my business keeps growing, and yours will too. And you know, sharing really is such a huge key to what we do. So, how do you succeed with Relive? You know, we have these fundamental steps that we take, and there's only 5 of them. We keep it simple, but it's sharing with new people, and it's doing the fundamental 5 steps daily, weekly, monthly. You know, that's part of the Relive system. And we just need to learn how to use it better to accelerate our results, and by connecting and not trying to convince. And, you know, we should just say to people, let me introduce you to, it can either be a new person, it can be a tool, it can be a video, it can be many things with sharing. But that is the key, you know, it's the new people that we do, that we introduce to Relive, and we share. Sorry, I just hit a wrong key there. Okay, so ISCAR is that 5-step plan. And, you know, it's identify, it's connect, it's share, it's ask, and it's register and go. That's simple. You know, we keep it simple. And that's duplicatable. So it's easy to teach by simply sharing information. And today we're going to talk more about share. So what is share? You know, think about that for just a minute. What is share? What does it mean? So, you know, I kind of looked that up as a definition, and it says sharing is to partake of, use, experience, to tell thoughts, feelings, experiences with others, or sharing a passion. I like the part about telling thoughts and feelings and your experiences, because that part comes from the heart. So when talking about how I take or use the shakes, it's more factual. You know, there's a little saying that says, facts tell, stories sell. But sharing from the heart touches others' hearts, and this is where our own voice is felt and it's found. So my question is, how many ways do you share? So if you think of any kind of an experience that you have or a thought that you have, type it in the chat box. So how do we share the Relive story? Why is it important? Sharing, sharing with new people, sharing is really the key. It gives information about Relive. It gives information about products. It gives information about the opportunity. But, there's some really good ways to do it, and there's some ways that I haven't done it so well. But, the important thing is that we give enough to engage who you're talking to. And I think that's an important thing, enough to engage. So we have that interaction. We were at a look good, feel good, fitness party, inside and out is what we did. And we had so much engaging in that meeting. People were asking questions. They were sharing information. And it was just a good interaction because whatever we had said or whatever we were talking about, they were engaging, and that made the sharing so much fun. So we shared the Relive story, and we did that at this party that we had, and it helps people to know how to engage and share with others. So, a lot of times it's good to ask a question. I like to ask questions. There is a, we call it form, and probably many of you have heard that. You talk about the family, the occupation, the recreation, and then, you can talk about your Relive message or whatever message that you're delivering. But, then you kind of know what people are looking for. And that's learning what your prospect is looking for, and it's engaging with both of you, and so that you can actually share the Relive story more effectively. What are they looking for? In this meeting that we were at, we were talking about inside and out, how Relive helps inside and out. And it really brought in a lot of questions about the products, about health, and maybe somebody's looking for energy or weight management, business, tax deductions. I never thought I'd hear somebody say they wanted Relive for a tax deduction, but I have a master affiliate. That's what they're looking for. And so, if we listen, we hear those things. They might have a heart to give back, help others. Relive offers it all, but we can help by listening and then sharing. So, share your story. Share the Relive story, and then share your story. So why I started on Relive was for good nutrition. I had no idea when drinking my first shake the impact that Relive would have on my life or my family's. I couldn't know that it would give my husband 2.5 years of quality of life when he was given only 8 weeks to live, nor that my mother would avoid kidney dialysis at age 80. With only one kidney, and at age 91, that kidney functions normally. Because all that happened, when I started Relive 11 years ago, I couldn't see that future. And my mom has actually avoided the life my father died from. I did believe, and this is important, share your belief. I did believe everyone was better with Relive than without it. And I believe improving our nutrition, our bodies will improve. And this was confirmed by my mother's doctor. He said it was her nutrition, looking at her blood work, it was her nutrition that improved her kidney. So what do you believe about Relive? What is your why? What has touched your heart? Share these things because it's really from the heart that it comes and touches other people's hearts. So there's many Relive tools to share your business. And you notice how many times we talk about share. Tools, share your business. How do you learn? By doing. So in the beginning, my upline took me with her, and I did part of the presentation. We used the opportunity book at that point, and I learned from her. And as I learned, then she might be on the phone, or I might have other distributors there when I did a presentation if she wasn't physically with me. But I always had someone with me, and I think that's really important because it's not just you sharing, it's validating with others sharing. And then I did my part on Tuesday night meetings, and I was scared. To stand up in front of people, this was a growing experience, but it was one step at a time. And I like sharing stories during the presentation, it kind of illustrates the slide and it puts the point over better, in my opinion. And so sharing the story shows more than the slide because those stories are reality. It's what really has happened. Example, there's a slide from Rodlin from Haiti, and you can probably picture him. I should have put him in here, but I didn't think of that until just now. But Rodlin, his legs, he's got this edema, legs and arms, and the poor little boy. And that's how my mother's legs looked when she started on Relive, and I can tell people that. But in 3 months, they look smooth, just like Rodlin's skin. So presentation books, they're a great tool, and they're a backup when the computer has an issue, like at our fitness party the other night. We had some problems with the computer, trying to get customers registered and distributors registered. And we learned, we were glad to have that presentation book there because it had an application on the back. So we shared that booklet with, the people that were there. They filled out the application, and then we got it taken care of the next day. So it's always about being prepared, and in that sense, they took the booklet home, so that was another type of sharing. So if you ever have an error message, this is what we learned. When you're entering a customer on a computer, know that the password or the login can be too short. I think that's what was happening. So also, Relive will sign customers up for you during business hours if you just give them a call. So online webinars, they're every Monday night to help us share Relive. And there's onlinerelive.com, Get Started, and a great share on relive.com, Get Started by Mindy Jones, talking all about sharing and great information. If you haven't watched that for a while, go back and watch it. So, share the Relive story and help people engage, and that's what I mentioned before, and I think that's what's really important is getting people to engage with you because then you're both sharing. It's not convincing, and it's not telling, and it's not selling. It is sharing information with each other and keeping sharing. Share new items that they might be interested in. So there's a lot of ways that we can share. We share and engage people at Relive meetings and events. Sometimes, words have a lot to do with it. Meetings, sometimes that doesn't go over so good. Sometimes people go, I don't want to have another meeting, and so maybe workshop is a good word, or orientation. So think, what's going to engage someone with maybe a new word, meaning the same thing in a sense. So, but keep sharing new items that they might be interested in. In the share that Mindy Jones talks about, when she's talking about sharing, she gives an example of meeting with a person, and they asked a question, and she shared a certain thing, and then they said, I wish my husband would have heard this, and so then she shared the Monday night webinar. And so you just keep sharing information to engage those people. So there's many ways that we can share. And like I said, I'm kind of thinking lately out of the box a little bit about workshops. And, everywhere I go, they say, have you had your flu shot? And I'm going, I never get a flu shot. And so ready for cold and flu season? That would be a great workshop, build your immune system. So, you can think of different ways to do things. The podcast, I think, is an awesome share with Tom and Tina. That Tom and Tina, I used to be the Monday night call, now Tom and Tina show, it really is a show. And Monday night evening, it teaches, it shares stories, it engages the listeners. They have trivia questions, they teach. This week they taught about, I think it was follow-up. And the product call also shares product information and stories. And, you know, that podcast is amazing. And it's not on our list because that's a new thing. But if you haven't listened to that, don't miss it. And connect other people. Share it with other people. You know, in-home parties. You know, Tom and Mindy did wine and cheese parties. We did a salad in a jar party with this fitness and tied in, you know, how is salad healthy for you? You know, it's the greens, it's that type of thing. But my question was, can you measure the nutrients in this salad in a jar to know what your body is getting? And then we talked about that's what Relive does. You know, I've looked at bruschetta parties, and they look really fun. You know, we do shake parties. We serve shakes with the salad, and it was just a lot of fun and healthy protein balls made with Active. And, you know, check out parties and have some fun. It's like Tom says, you know, if you're not having fun, you're done. So start thinking out of the box. What's going to work for you? What kind of a party will work with Relive to share with other people? Webinars, share the Relive story, and they have personal stories. Conference calls. You know, I had a new distributor one time. She said, well, I've got this person, and this person, and this person, and I got this family member. So we connected all 6 of them on one conference call. And we were able to answer questions and share to go to the next step. And that was fun, you know, everybody together. Your upline, and that brings strength. And if you don't have upline, use your sidelines. Everybody will share. Introduce other distributors. You know, everyone's really good to help other people and share. Your lifestyle magazine, you know, you get that lifestyle magazine. What do you do with that? Who do you share it with? You might even take it to a business. Leave it at a business. I mean, you know, have your name and information on it. There's a lot of ways we can share that lifestyle magazine. Just start thinking about how can I share it. You know, sometimes we just think about sharing is just sharing our story, but there's much more to it. And the Relive blog, whiteboards, writing on napkins, you know, how do you share? Video tools. You know, the video tools, I love this because I can send anything about the company or product videos in a message from the Relive site. And I did that. I talked to a neighbor for some time, and she was very interested, but she didn't really decide to come to a meeting or anything until I sent her a video from Tammy Martineau talking about how it helped her son with autism. And that touched my neighbor's heart. And she came and even brought her son that was going through some behavior issues. And he studied about epigenetics, and he talked to everybody about epigenetics, a very intelligent young boy. And so, she brought him because she said if he didn't like the product, it was not going to work because he was so particular, but he did like it, and he did well. So, you know, those video tools can touch where my words could not. I also sent a webinar to my cousin that's very, very busy and travels with her other business, and I didn't know if it would catch her, but it happened to be just at the right time, and she went on that webinar, and then she went in and signed up as a distributor and got started on the products. So use those tools. You know, it's like I said, you don't have to know it all. We have this in our Relive system, and we have so much to educate and validate the belief of Relive and what it can do for you. So more about the tools, and we've talked about some of these tools, and, you know, there are a couple of other tools that I like to use. That You to Super You is awesome, and we use that with our party salad in a jar, you know, You to Super You. And this is another tool that I really like to use. Relive Distributor Cost-Effective Guide. You know, it breaks it down, cost per serving. And sometimes it's easier to see this in per serving than a monthly dollar amount because, you know, it makes it easier to see when it's a cost per serving. So I like to leave people this and talk to them about, you know, cost per serving. Another tool that I like is your next step to share relive. This is an awesome tool for sharing, where to start. What is your savings? It could be your savings. Maybe they just want to save on the product, or it could be profit. Depends on if they're looking at the business. Those two words, they mean about the same thing, but they mean different things for, business people or product people. And so how to get started. And I like to leave this with them. Sometimes they need to think about it. In our automotive business, we used to tell our service advisor, after you've given a presentation and you've shared this information, he who speaks first loses, because you don't know what they're thinking. So even after they speak, then you can go back over it, or you can share information. You can leave this with them. So it's just another way of sharing information. I also like to leave this comp plan and share the comp plan. Because it gives them information. Maybe you're giving them a lot of information. You're sharing a lot of information, and sometimes it takes time for that information to be digested through the brain. And so leave them information, whatever is pertaining to what they have asked you about. Bob Montgomery said, "Your story should be your sharpest tool, and learn to tell your story different." So how do you share your story different? I had some thoughts about this. Your story, maybe just meeting a new person, is that different than a story another time? You might just need like a one-liner. In our automotive business, people would come in and they'd be falling asleep every day at 2 o'clock trying to sell me advertising, and I'd say, "I used to get tired every day at 2 p.m. too, and I don't anymore." And they'd say, "What did you do?" And I said, "I just started drinking this shake." A lot of times I had it on my desk. And they'd say, "Get me some." And this is how I got my first master affiliate, And then you can say, "I used to be 13 pounds heavier." Think of a one-liner story, because you might only have that brief time, and that's a type of sharing. Another way, do you share your story on a 3-way call the same as you share your story at a webinar, or a Tuesday night presentation? There's different ways to share your story. So sharing on a 3-way call, you may have been asked to share about a specific thing to help that person. And those 3-way calls, I feel like it's not just to share my story, but it's to help that person. It's to help that person get their questions answered so that they share their story and it duplicates. So by teaching them through my story, and I think that 3-way call is a little different, because years ago when I first started Relive, I had a lady share her story with a new customer, and the new customer was very, very timid, and the person that was sharing the story was very, very bold. And my customer asked a couple questions, and the story was being shared so boldly she didn't even hear that the customer asked a question. So after we hung up, my customer said to me, "She scares me." And so, there's a lot of things to think about sharing your story, and why you're sharing your story, and how you're helping that other person. Maybe sharing your story during a Tuesday night presentation. It might be your health story. It might be your business story. It might be helping business together. So there's different ways to share your story. Maybe sharing your story on social media. Is that different? It is. I had an experience on social media. I was looking, there was this company, and they were telling about all their weight loss products and everything. It was actually an advertisement. There were a lot of comments down there, and so I just put in, I've been using a program that is a lifestyle program, and I've lost, let's see, how much have I lost? 13 pounds. And a lady from New York sent me a message and said, what are you doing? I don't want to count points. I have a family. I need something that will fit into my lifestyle. I have teenage boys that like to eat, and I want to know what you're doing. And so I had no idea when I did that, but it was kind of cool. So, how do we share our story on social media? You don't know who's going to respond, but it is different than just when you're talking to someone. So sharing your story from your heart, is that different? I think it is. So, like Bob said, our sharpest tool should be our story and how we share it. So let's talk about the Relive opportunity. I learned from a representative of another company some points about Relive that I had not thought about and that I don't share most of the time. And so this slide gives us a little glimpse. But, we need to take a little closer look about this. We talk about low startup costs compared to expensive franchises, and I can validate that because we started out with $150,000 with our franchise and needed, expensive equipment, specialized equipment, and employees that were trained. And some of that equipment, one piece of that equipment was $17,000. So are we a low startup cost for $40, you have the opportunity to build a multi-million-dollar business. We are a low startup, and no risk, 100% buyback guarantee. But here's the other side of that. 100% buyback guarantee for how long? As a master affiliate, you have a 100% buyback guarantee on any unopened can for a year. Who gives a 100% buyback guarantee for a year? This other company said, they had 90-day guarantee. And plus, we have 30-day. Use the product. Return the empty can. You work when you want, where you want. You have no boss, no employees, and you're part of a support team. But this is what I heard from this other person. And it made me think, so we need to talk about that guarantee, and there's none better than a 100% guarantee, and it's easy to order. That was one of the things she brought out. It's easy to order. Is Relive easy to order? It comes right to your door. That was the thing that she talked about. You have your own website. If you're registered as a customer, I'm hearing some noise. Did someone *6 their phone? Is everyone's phone *6? Okay. All right. Thank you. Now it's better. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll have to. Okay. Okay. Can everyone still hear me? Okay. I hope I'm still being heard. Someone typed in the chat box because I did a hard mute. So if anyone has anything to say, your *6 will not unmute you. But okay, so anyway, these are the things that I heard. It comes right to your door. Well, Relive comes right to your door, and you have your own website, and you can order anytime. As a customer, it will come right to your door, and you're registered as a customer. It makes it easy, and it's an international business. In this other company, they were required to do auto ship. We are not required to do auto ship. We can, because Relive gives us that option if we choose, but it's not something we have to, which we have more control of ordering what we want, when we want, and we don't have to look for an email. We don't have to, get a shipment that we didn't want. because we are in total control. And the other thing that she said was, our company took what people didn't like about direct sales and made it better. And as I listened to her, I thought Relive even is so much better than what she was talking about. But I have never really thought to tell people this is so easy to order and it comes right to your door. I may have said that, but, I thought these are things that sometimes are really important to people. And it's easy to get started. So anyway, just think about, some of those opportunities that Relive really gives to us. All right, so we're going to talk about the Relive opportunity. And there are 5 ways to make money in Relive. In our automotive business, there were a couple ways. We paid bonuses and we traded time, paid them time for dollars. And that's what happens in most traditional businesses. But Relive even goes beyond that. That's that extra perk in a sense that Relive has. It's retail profit, it's wholesale profit, it's overrides, it's cash bonuses and trips. 5 forms of income. So, what is retail profits? You can earn immediate profit when you share Relive products. And so everyone's a potential customer. And they're safe for everybody. You can earn 10 to 40%. Which would you rather earn, $10 or $40 for every $100 of product that you share? And you share, like I said, everyone's a potential customer, your friends, your neighbors, your relatives, their friends, their neighbors, their relatives. Share with everyone. Okay, the next form of income is wholesale profits. When you teach others about the products and the opportunity, and you're a master affiliate at that 40% level, you begin earning 5 to 30% in wholesale profits. Some people may want to save on the products. Others will join you in the business. When a distributor joins you at the 25% level, you're earning 15%, which means they're earning $25 if they're at that master affiliate level, and you're earning $15. So when product is distributed, your distributor is earning and you are earning also. Sponsoring increases your volume, and the more volume, it increases your profits. So is master affiliate important? Yes, it unlocks residual income, which means Relive pays you every month. This was vital to me when my husband was in the hospital as we closed our automotive business, and that income stopped. We had residual bills and now business debt. Those I shared with were consuming products every month, and I received a check every month. So you have residual bills. Why not have residual income? So how do overrides work? Overrides are calculated on your business volume, and this is like setting you up in your own business with minimal cost, and you can expand your business with unlimited potential. I'm helping and teaching you, and you are earning. We are a team. You help others, and they are earning, and you are earning. You are a team. You get paid 5 levels, and together we build teams, and Relive pays you for teaching. Your first master affiliate may be Susan, and you're paid 8% on Susan's team or group, and that's her whole group. And then Susan might share with Jim, and that's 6%, and it goes down. And third level is 4%, or the third level is 4%, yes, and the fourth level is 3%, and the fifth level you get paid 2%. And it's being paid on each team or group equals residual income. So how does this work? Let's put some numbers to it. So you're that master affiliate up there in that box, and you have 3 master affiliates. That's probably about 20 to 25 customers sharing. If you have 20 customers using $100 worth of product, you have created $2,000 in retail volume. And if 3 of them are sharing And Bob Montgomery said, this is the part that's really missed a lot of times. This was here for a, this is put in this compensation plan for a reason, sharing with 3. And 3 is a magic number here. So if you have those 3 master affiliates, then you have a total of 6,000, and times that 8%, you have earned $480. So say those, this is kind of the power of duplication, those 3 share with 3. It's the same process. It's duplicating. You now have 9 people sharing and earning and teaching other people, and they're earning $2,000. Each person is sharing that, and each person is making that $2,000 a month in distribution, and that equals $18,000 times your 6%. So now you've earned $1,080, and combined you are generating an income of $1,560 a month. That's awesome. So let's continue down and see the possibilities of 3 master affiliates teaching and training 3 master affiliates. Now you have 27, and each doing the $2,000 a month. At $54,000 times 4%, you have $2,160. Now your total income is $3,720. And duplicating 3, you have 81, distributing $2,000 worth of product in a month. At $162,000 times 3% is $4,860. Now your total earnings is $8,580. Can you see how this is growing? And on the 5th level, you have 243 distributing $2,000 monthly, and that's $486,000 times 2%. For an income of $9,720, which is a total monthly income for $18,300. It grows. This is simply how the comp plan works. When we share, it grows. So if this takes you 5 years to accomplish, do you think it would be worth it? I had no idea that I would earn $7,000 in a single month with Relive by sharing, but that did happen. So the next form of income is cash, bonuses, and trips. Relive always has a bonus plan and trips with unexpected perks. Our trip on a Disney cruise, we got a $100 gift certificate to spend on the ship, and there's always things you don't expect because Relive just gives and gives. There's also that Star Director program that increases the override percentages. Now, trips. So the first to qualify for Puerto Vallarta trip will earn $5,000 bonus. Awesome trip, but look at that bonus. The second is a $4,000 bonus. The third to qualify is a $3,000 bonus, and the fourth, $2,000, and the fifth, a $1,000 bonus in addition to an awesome trip. Where are you at on your list? Are you getting your quick starts? Are you getting master affiliates? Are you sharing? The Look Good, Feel Good fitness party, my daughter got a quick start right that night. One of the things that we did as an incentive is we said, if you decide to purchase a Fit3 kit tonight, your registration of $40 is free. And this gal said, hey, I'll do that. I'm going to do it. And she's in there, and she's in the Fit for Life Challenge, and she's excited, and she's just getting going. So, trips, bonuses. And then there's the ambassador program, where you're invited to be an ambassador with Relive to teach and train others with travel and recognition. And there's many other benefits that come with that ambassador program. It's all part of the support for success that Relive offers. I've never seen a company that offers so much support to help us to be successful. So, share your story differently to meet others' needs. What do people need most? Besides my health results, Relive took my husband and I to Malaysia, where children were able to run and play and learn. We witnessed that. We went to a remote village where naked babies touched our hearts and their eyes pierced my soul. I felt like I was doing God's work. I was helping others, and I was giving service. Because of Relive, my husband and I enjoyed Hawaii, a lifetime dream Relive made come true, and a Disney cruise, sitting on our balcony deck, sailing the ocean, enjoying the sunset and the sunrise. In the Bahamas, we rode scooters, and we found a graveyard where slaves were thrown into the ocean as they were sick and they had no worth. Relive rescues. We build teams and we give hope. We build self-worth. We feed God's children, and our mission is to nourish our world in body, mind, and spirit. I'm grateful my friend shared Relive with me. It is what people need. And when financial security comes from doing good, you'll find personal freedom and be happy you shared Relive. And last but not least, we duplicate. We duplicate the ISCAR, the identify, the share, the connect, the ask, the register and go. And we do all that by continuing to share. You share your story. You share the hope. You share the Relive story. And you help others build and share their stories. So who and how will you share your story with next? Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you'll continue to share.